Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. How's it going? Today is the first day back from spring break. I have to admit I'm a little disappointed that I had to come back to work, but I'm not that disappointed because I got to see all the students. So it was great to see all my students again. But it was a great break, but I'm excited to be back. Mostly because over the break I assigned my students a project to do and they were so excited. So they had to research and learn about monuments and landforms. Or not landforms, landmarks. So let me just show you some of the projects that came back. I'm so impressed with all of the work that they did. Is a project of Alcatraz. Here's one of Angel Island. This is one of the Colosseum. So cool. This is another Alcatraz. This is the Statue of Liberty. I'm not really sure what this one is. This is a Stonehenge one. Someone made a pamphlet of Alcatraz. Here's Coit Tower, and then here is Joshua Tree. So those were some of the projects that came back. I was so impressed. I'm so amazed by all of their work. Like, just all the little details that went into it is so amazing. There was a lot of stuff from San Francisco because we live in San Francisco. So like Alcatraz, Angel Island, Coit Tower. So yeah, we live in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, so they did a lot of stuff that was accessible to them, so that was cool to see. But yeah, the students are at library today. We have a lot of stuff to go over, but I'm so amazed by how much they grow up just over break. Like, after break, they come back and they just are so settled and so mature at this point. So it's such a cool time. You see every break they come back taking like such big step forwards, and that's such an amazing thing to see as a teacher. Like, seeing where they come in as and then seeing how they grow over the years is just so cool to see. And that's why I love teaching. You know, you get to see all these little landmarks and milestones in their little children lives. Alright guys, so it is lunchtime right now. I just went to a cafe by the school that I work at and got myself a iced hazelnut latte. It has oat milk in it. I can't drink lactose, so I can't get regular milk, and it sucks because I have to pay extra just to have a dairy alternative, but it's okay. But yeah, the day is going pretty well. The kids are actually really calm. I'm not sure if it's because it's the first day back and they're all like sleepy because they didn't get enough sleep from having no like regular schedule over spring break, or if they're just like maturing. But I'm hoping that they're maturing and it's just going to be this way the rest of the year. But yeah, I've also been like just thinking like I'm getting kind of bored. Like, although we do have some challenges, I feel like we do so many things that are the same that I'm getting kind of bored of it, and I'm thinking of ways to change up our routines and introduce something new to our routine. But it's the first day back. I'll probably feel it out for the rest of the week and see what I feel like, if I'm still feeling the same way at the end of the week, or if I'm like not feeling it, then I'll think of some ways to change it. But yeah, if you have felt this way before, what are some ways that you kind of like get out of that rut that you're in to change it up a little bit? But yeah, I am going to relax a little bit. I have about like 10 more minutes before I have to go get my kids, so I'm gonna drink my coffee and watch some YouTube or something. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hey, what's up guys? I am back at the classroom. Right now my students are at PE, so I thought I would quickly update you on what we've been up to today. So earlier today, the students were so excited to show each other what they've been working on and look at each other's projects. So what we did was a gallery walk. So they all put their projects on their desk and they were able to go around, and basically I said treat it as a museum, you know, don't touch the projects, but you could read, because they all had to do a little bit of writing about the landmark or the monument that they researched. So I said go read about something, find one new thing that you learned about, and they all just took some time to walk around and you know, learn about all the monuments and landmarks that they researched. So it was really cool. I also went down to the copy room to make some like little cutouts because I'm going to do my bulletin board. So on my bulletin board, I plan to put up all their informational writing. So I cut out letters to say, you know, something cool, and then it's going to basically just highlight their writing. So I'm not really a fan of doing bulletin boards. I find it very tedious and just a lot of work, and so I don't really enjoy doing them. But I know some people like get really into it, like they get really creative. So yeah, I would love to hear of some cool ways that you highlight your student work on your bulletin boards, and I would love to see pictures if that's possible. But yeah, I need to go do that, and then I need to go get my kids from PE. So I will see you guys later. All right guys, it is Tuesday, the next day. It's like lunchtime right now, but I have been having such a rough day. The kids have been okay, but I really don't have any energy, and I think it's because I've been waking up at really random hours in the night. Like I woke up at 3:30, I woke up at 2 in the morning, and like bolted up, just like wide awake, and I couldn't fall back asleep. And I think it's because there's been these birds that have been chirping outside my house, and they've just been making so much noise, and I think it wakes me up in the middle of the night. But they've been chirping at like really random hours, like 3, 4 in the morning. So yeah, I haven't been getting a lot of good sleep, so I'm drinking a Red Bull. But yeah, another cool thing is I got a new watch. It's a Fitbit Versa. I wanted to like track my heart rate and my steps and stuff, but I didn't even bring it up to the kids. I just kind of like was wearing it, and they were like, oh my gosh, you have a new watch, and they just like were obsessed with it. I was like, oh, it's interesting like how kids get so invested in these things and these small changes that they notice. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty okay day. I've just been really tired. I had lunch, and I've like packed my lunch today in all these mason jars. Let me show you. So I already ate it, but this morning I had breakfast. I had overnight oats in my blue mason jar, and then I packed myself some like vegetables. I had like snow peas and tomatoes in here, and on the top you can see this little cup. It's like a sauce cup, so I put some dressing in it, and then I dipped it in, and it was really good. I like to use that sometimes for like granola, so I'll put yogurt in the jar and then put some granola to pour over the yogurt later so that it doesn't get soggy. So that's a cool thing to have. But yeah, today has been also really rainy, so the rain has been coming in and out throughout the day, and so it's really unpredictable what our schedule is going to be like, whether they're going to be able to go outside or not. So the kids are kind of like restless today. But yeah, that's all really. I just wanted to update you guys on what's been going on. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Alright guys, quick update. My clock is finally back. I took it down for a few days to give to the secretary just to have like a physical reminder, because I kept reminding her that I needed batteries, but she never like replaced the batteries. So I just brought the clock down to her, and then the next day she just replaced the batteries and gave me the clock back. But now I have a clock back in my room, and I could tell the time. I've been like using my watch as a timer, so this is actually better to have the clock on the wall with the time so that I can see it and the kids can see it. But yeah, so glad that I have a clock again. How's it going, guys? It is Wednesday now. So today has been a pretty good day. It's not raining, so the kids have not had to be held inside for recess or anything. But today I'm going to start this art project that we have to do. We have an annual auction at my school, so each class has to create some sort of art project that can be sold at the auction so that we can raise money for our school. So I am doing a really ambitious project with clay, and it involves like clay, and I have to get it glazed, and I have to get it fired up, or whatever the term is for like getting it, putting it in the kiln, and then I have to get it made in time for the auction. So I'm starting it today, and I'm super nervous for how it's going to turn out, because the pottery teacher at the school, we have a pottery teacher, said it's very ambitious, but she thinks that it can be done. So hopefully it turns out well. So I have a big lump of clay and a parent is going to come in and help me with it. So hopefully it turns out well. We'll see. So yeah, I'm going to get that started. I just wanted to show you this picture though. One of my students drew this. Isn't that awesome? I really love how much personality this one little fish drawing has. It's so cool to me. Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? It is later in the day. I'm sitting here eating my lunch right now. Today for lunch I have some Korean stew soup, budae-jjigae. I probably didn't say that really well, but Korean stew soup, it has like noodles and spam and hot dogs and tteokbokki and all this good stuff in it. And then I have a jar of snap peas or sugar peas, I think. And then I have some miso dressing sauce. So it's really cool. I just put this here and then close it up, and then I could like open this and take it out, and then I have some little dressing. So I'm sitting here. This afternoon we started our clay. So the parent came in and we started our art project. So it turned out pretty well. Each student had made like a hand print. So this is what it looks like a hand thing. So they traced their hand and then made a cutout of their hand, and so all of their hands are going to make a bowl. And so hopefully it turns out well. I think I'm gonna have to redo some of the hands with them because they don't look so well. Like some of the fingers look really thin, so I'm going to have to probably sit down and redo it with them. But other than that, the day is going so well. We're finishing up opinion writing, and I hope to move on to something more fun because opinion writing is kind of repetitive right now. And so hopefully we're going to move on to that. Later on, we are going to move on to math, and we're going to do fractions. So under this, I like to, for some reason, I have this thing about not showing the kids what they're going to learn that day. So I have an anchor chart about fractions hidden under this shapes one. But yeah, so we will work on fractions where they're going to learn how to like split shapes into equal parts. So looking forward to that because fractions is really fun. I think fractions is really cool. So hopefully later on in that unit I could introduce some fun activities about like dividing like stuff. So yeah. How's it going guys? It's the end of the day. I'm just sitting at my desk planning some guided reading groups. So what I have here are some book bags. My school is fortunate enough to have a book room, so we have a lot of different sets of books in different guided reading levels. So I have a set of this book, Iris and Walter, and then I have another set of this book, Mercy Watson, they're both great books, but basically I have to plan some lessons for specific guided reading level groups, and so I will teach them different things based on the different books and based on what the different needs of those groups are. So for example, one group might be working on like reading certain vowel patterns or reading specific digraph patterns, and so I need to figure out what each group needs and then figure out how I could teach that by using these books at their level. So hopefully by doing this and with more practice at reading, they can move up in their reading level, and then they could be at grade level by the end of the year. Because we're at the end of the year, I have a lot of things that I do need to get done and figure out how to move students up to their grade level so that they are able to move on to the next grade and be prepared for their next grade. And hopefully the goal is to have all the students at the benchmarks that they need to be at by the end of the year. So hopefully by planning all of these reading groups, that it will help them become better readers and better learners and etc., and be able to move on ready and prepared for the third grade. So I'm going to get started on planning. I have a lot to do. I basically need to read through the books, figure out what I'm going to teach them, figure out what they need to learn, and plan it out. Hey, how's it going? So I really haven't picked up the camera today because it was such a busy day, but today it went pretty well. We had so much going on. Apparently today, on this day in history, was the day that the American flag's design got approved. So I did an activity with my students where they designed flags, and so you can hear, or not hear, you can see all of the different things that my students created. The assignment was to design a flag to represent themselves, and so we have all these flags up here that represent each student, and so they came up with a design for themselves. And I thought it was a really cool activity to see what their interests were and what things they could come up with to represent themselves as individuals. So it's really cool. But also tomorrow I am getting another new student. So as you may know, before I got a new student, and I am getting a new student again because a student left my class. So I've had 2 students leave my class. Now I will have 3 students entering my class. And so actually I've had 3 students leave my class. 1 got switched to another class, and I had another from another class switch into my class. And so yeah, I'll have 3 leaving and then 3 entering. So my room has been really like a hub of just different kids right now. So it's a lot of transitions, and it kind of sucks that like there's no real consistency, because just as we start to settle in, there's another change. And so I have to revisit all the routines and all this stuff again when I feel like I just settled into the routines for the newer student. And so not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just more of a pain in the butt than anything. But I'm excited. The students stopped by today to just pop in and say hello because they wanted to get a feeling, and it was a very rushed transition because like usually there's a grace period, but the student is just like immediately transferring in. So there's no real like grace period for them to be like, okay, in this amount of time you're going to switch. They're like, oh nope, tomorrow is your first day. So that's going to happen. So I need to prepare all the materials for them, like their notebooks and all that stuff. So yeah, I need to go scrounge some stuff up and get stuff for them to have for their new day. Hey, what's up guys? I am so happy that it's finally Friday. I have some breakfast here that I got. I went out to dinner last night and I stopped by one of my favorite pastry shops. They sell these little buns. It's a Chinese bakery, but they sell these little buns. This one has an egg and some Spam in it. It's a breakfast sandwich, so I always like to get some things. It's pretty cheap too. It's like less than $2 for one. So whenever I'm there, I like to pick up some stuff so I can have it for lunch and breakfast. But yeah, today is going to be an interesting day. First of all, because it's raining this morning, and it wasn't raining when I left the house, but it started raining when I was driving to school, so that's always fun. And then I'm also getting a new student. I didn't have a lot of notice about the student coming in because I think they just like registered and were like accepted right away. So I got the notice yesterday, had to scrounge up all the materials really quick so that they would have everything they needed, like folders, notebooks, all that stuff, and the right handouts and the right anchor charts and stuff like that. So it's gonna be an interesting Friday.